everybody, I'm Aaron Simmons. This is Philosophy for Where We Find Ourselves, March 12th, 2024. So I have got some big news. The Audible version of Camping with Kierkegaard just dropped this morning. It is now available on Amazon, iTunes, everywhere where you can buy audiobooks. So I'm going to have a link in the description below. Please go check it out. Download it, give it a listen, and share it with your friends. Please be sure to also drop a 5-star review and maybe even a comment, both on Amazon and over at Goodreads. It really does help the algorithm recommend philosophy to other people. So I did this entirely in response to readers and the audience. I actually do not listen to audiobooks, but in this case, I recorded the entire thing myself and sent it off to a recording studio to be mastered and produced. I'm extremely happy with how it turned out, and I hope you will enjoy it. So, Audible version available now, Camping with Kierkegaard. Grab yourself a copy. Second thing I want to talk about today is a kind of philosophical reflection on something that occurred to me this weekend. So I was down this week in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, officiating a wedding for a former student of mine. So big congratulations to Susanna and Nick. Hope you guys are deliriously happy for the rest of your lives as you walk and talk together. But while I was there, something occurred to me that really kind of hit home and made me think that it would be something you guys want to think about with me as well. So when I initially drafted the talk I was going to give, the script of the wedding ceremony, and sent it off to Susanna, one of my former philosophy students, she responded and said, "Look, I think this is great, but can you maybe not talk so much about love and instead do a little bit more with the idea of commitment as worthy of our finitude?" Now, you may be familiar. What is worthy of your finitude is the question of Camping with Kierkegaard. But I loved the way that Susanna put this, because even though I think I had some pretty sophisticated, interesting, philosophical reflections on the idea of love, her point was, I don't want the wedding ceremony to be simply about something that is often confused as a feeling. I want it to be about the existential investment that results from the agency deployed in choosing to unite one's life with the life of another. In other words, she was trying to emphasize the role that commitment plays in our relational identity. We are who we are through others, through each other. I love this idea because I often think a lot about what it means to take the trails of life seriously, to walk them on purpose, to be faithful in the direction that we think is worthy of our risk. That's my definition of faithfulness itself, risk with direction. But Susanna understood that what it looks like to be invested in one's own becoming means to be fundamentally purposive, intentional, reflective about with whom we walk. The direction matters, yes, but who we walk in that direction with maybe matters as much, if not more. So I rewrote the ceremony trying to emphasize this idea that commitment and relationship defines our existence. This is, in fact, what makes our life so worth living. We don't walk the trails by ourselves, we walk them with others. And with whom we walk is not just a kind of default setting, as David Foster Wallace would say, but an intentional outcome of our choice to become someone invested in who someone else is becoming. It's what Martin Heidegger calls leaping ahead. We leap ahead of others by freeing them to their own freedom. And in this wedding ceremony, part of what it was that I reflected on and talked about, and that Susanna and Nick wanted to unite them, was precisely the idea that they leapt ahead of each other. Insofar as getting married didn't ruin their individuality, but freed them to become better themselves through each other. And I think that conception of partnership and life orientation is absolutely worthy of the existential philosophy that I talk about so often. So I hope that's helpful to you as you think not just about marriage or long-term partnerships, but you think about what it means to be invested in yourself by becoming more intentional about with whom you walk the trails of life. Okay, again, thanks as always for listening. Please like and subscribe. Go check out my Substack, Philosophy in the Wild. And in the meantime, go download, grab a copy of the new Audible version of Camping with Kierkegaard, and I'll see you next time, unless a piano falls on our heads.